Good morning, America. This is Dr. Churi. Welcome to probably one of the most enlightening, most honest, most direct, most challenging, and probably the most destructive video I could ever make for myself. Oh my gosh, what you are going to hear today, particularly if you take the time to read the very, very revealing newsletter associated with this video, chances are that you will agree. We are into the beginning or ending of important phases of life, okay? And it is definitely a new beginning for President-elect Joe Biden, and definitely a beginning or ending for Mr. Trump. Or again, I will try to do my best to pass on the information I have for you today without taking any sides and by just exposing the undiluted truths that Dr. Churi is so famous for. All right, the title is clear: The Stars and Fate of Joe Biden, the US, of course, that goes with the world, and SOS to the world, because I give some dates about what to expect. So first, let's start by making you aware that many months ago, in countless of my newsletters and videos, particularly the one I made for George, Nori, and Tom, you will realize that I made the predictions that came to pass today. Now, for months, people from all walks of life have ridiculed my vision. Yet, one more time, I was right all along. Now, you can indeed check all the facts if you take the time to read or listen to my YouTube videos. Now, for that matter, you should join me for more critical predictions for the US, the world, and humanity at large. When I say join me, subscribe to this YouTube channel. That is, if you are able and willing to handle and hear the undiluted truth. Now, I got a few emails. The first one was received from my Amazon movie producers, and the movie was produced 9/14/2020, last September. And he says, I mentioned that your predictions about Trump in the movie looked right to Jason, which is the co-producer or the director, yesterday, as we were finishing up the first part. The reading we are gonna do next is part 2. That is when I did the reading of the producer or the director. I can't remember just now. It looks good so far. Thank you again for everything and have a great weekend. This is one of the many emails of support I received today. So that's the good news. By popular demand, my UFO, by my Nostradamus Divine Astrology methodology will be soon available on the Amazon Prime, and then you will hear me. You will hear me right there. Well, before anybody, particularly John Hogue on Coast to Coast, saying that Trump will not be reelected because the stars are completely and entirely against him. But there is so much more, my good friend. There is so much more in that newsletter today. And I spent hours and hours trying to make it in a way that you can digest it intelligently and slowly. Now, you will not believe this, but now I know for fact that there is a conspiracy against Dr. Churi on Coast to Coast. Can you believe that? The very hand that feed me for years, the very people I love and respect, talking about George, Nori, and Tom. Oh my God. Listen to the rest of the story. John Hogue presidential prediction on Coast to Coast, 10 p.m. to midnight Monday, the night before the election day. Will Hogue predict the popular vote winner? A 14th time in a row since 1968, and the unpopular vote winner too. Oh my God, the night before. What type of prediction is that? Especially when all news media, Fox, CNN, radio, newspaper, television, websites, everything was pointing out that Trump was going to lose as you watch those numbers going downhill and downhill. Oh my God, are you joking, Mr. Hogue and Coast to Coast? What are the odds to make a wrong prediction about Trump re-election the night before, again, when all the news medias and numbers were so obvious and against the president re-election? Wait a minute here. Now you may understand why Hogue waited so long to make his prediction on Coast to Coast. Now, he had the opportunity to make that prediction a month ago. In fact, on July 28, 2020, okay? During his appearance on George's show, and he did not, he also wrongly thought that Susan Rice would be his running mate. What type of prediction this is? July 28, 2020, Hogue didn't make a firm prediction yet on the outcome of the American presidential election. He is waiting to see who Biden will pick as his running mate. He thinks Susan Rice will be a strong candidate. Okay. What I'm trying to say here, this is on Coast to Coast website. On October the 9th, okay, October the 9th, 2020, Tom, his producers, asked me to go on Coast to Coast. And he insisted for me not to talk about Trump's election or mention anything whatsoever about COVID-19. And guess what? I have the email exchange in the newsletter for you to read the date and the truth that I represent. Now, providing Tom would have allowed me to make real predictions, okay, about the election. Shortly after October 9th, when he first emailed me and said, Louis, you're going to be back on Coast to Coast, I would have assured him and George that Trump would never be re-elected. Of course, man, you're talking about AM station. You're talking about a conservative radio station, okay? So this is a shame and, in fact, a real conspiracy against me. A conspiracy against a real modern prophet who made that prediction on September the 6th directly to Tom and George on my YouTube channel, and before that on my new movie on Nostradamus Divine Astrology, which is going to be watched by millions of people all over the world because they said that performance was so real, so good, so intense, so passionate that they intend to translate it in many, many languages. So now you have the fact. Now, but why? Why did Tom or George did not invite me on Coast to Coast? Well, the reality is very simple. Tom and George have future traveling plans that involve John Hogue, and they wanted to protect his predictive integrity, okay, and his good name. And they waited as long as they could, which means the night before the election, give me a freaking break, people, okay, to make sure he would be right. No. He could have made that prediction last July. I could have made that prediction well ahead of time and be right. But they didn't want his face, his name, his integrity to be completely pulverized by the real thing, Dr. Cherry. Interesting today, isn't it? Now, only an idiot last few days, I mean, a seriously moron, okay, would have made the prediction that Trump would win the election, okay, And this is exactly what Mr. John Hogue did. There is absolutely no trust, no values in his predictive gift, but endless rambling about modern astrology or talking about Pluto. And guess what? John Hogue read and watch all my videos like so many other wannabe prophets or so-called astrologers. What a revelation. The night before, Mr. Hogue predicted Trump would not be reelected. Give me a break. Give me a break. Anyway, this is sad because since October the 9th, the day that I received that email, a few days afterwards, 2 or 3 days after, maybe a week later maximum, I would have appeared on Coast to Coast. But Tom, to this day, never emailed me, and I don't think he will ever now. So if you're a supporter of mine, you may want to reach George, Tom, and Coast to Coast staff directly and tell them exactly what you feel and what you think about this deplorable conspiracy against me to save Hogue deceptive butt. Okay? I would never, ever bite the hand that feed me. For years, Tom and George have helped me. And I really thought that those guys were my friends. Not so, it appears, my good friends. But the undiluted truth must be acknowledged and shared widely. I may be, as I said earlier, at the same time, literally hang myself forever with Coast to Coast with this revealing newsletter, and probably will never be invited again on that formidable, beautiful radio show. But with me, my good friend, the undiluted truth is more important than my career. My mission and my job is to present you with the undiluted truth. And you got it today. What are you going to do about it? You have all the emails in that newsletter. All you got to do is to click on that email and say to George and Tom what you feel, what you think. And then next time you hear John on Coast to Coast, maybe you want to call and say, hey, guess what? There is a guy out there. His name is Dr. Cherry. He's the only living astrophile on planet Earth who uses quatrain and keywords like Nostradamus used to do. And guess what? He predicted so many things on Coast to Coast. But anyway, a lot of people are going to think, wow, you know what? Dr. Cherry is the most egocentric man on the planet. No. I am not the most eccentric man, and the most eccentric maybe, but egocentric, no. But I definitely support and endorse the truth, in a way that many people are unable or unwilling to take it from me. So read that email that was signed to Tom Deinheiser on October the 9th, okay? When he very clearly and insisted for me not to talk about Trump and not to talk about COVID-19, because they knew Dr. Cherry was going to be right, because I've been proving it so many times before. And they wanted to protect the bat of Mr. Hogue because they have invited him in all their future conference once COVID-19 is up and over with. Read that email and have fun. What else do we have? Okay. The best thing you can do, my good friend, because this is such an important day for us, okay, is to read that newsletter. But I want you to remember, again, one more time, as a real Nostradamus prophet, modern prophet, I wrote a quatrain on January 26, 2015, 5 years ago. Prepare month of blooming June, icy December. White moon, ninth day speak. Evil spirit of Hitler legacy challenged. Cosmic God may. And in bracket, I put deed, grace, humanity. That is how a real prophet who promote the word and the work of Nostradamus as he used to do in the 16th century work. That is how you do it. Okay. Now there is 73 days left as of today until Trump leave the office, okay? And I gave the month of December for Trump to exit the White House. Can this also reflect the accuracy of my quatrain, something that I wrote 5 years ago? That's what you're dealing with. And you cannot make this stuff up, my friends, because it's there. It's in front of your eyes. It's on YouTube. It's on my videos. It's in my newsletters. It's on radio. It's on television. And it's soon on Amazon Prime for millions of people to see who is real and who is not. Well, it seems we have been spared the worst for now. But as I said, while the 2020 stars do not support Trump, there is also a very, very, very extraordinarily important reason as to why he failed to maintain power and get the majority of we the people to support him. You know, I teach my students that regardless of the stars you inherited, the dragon you inherited, or the UCI, unique celestial identity, karmic stars that you were born with, or even the reptilius effect, the human will, or the part of God in each one of us is much stronger than those stars. It could have been done so easily, quite easily, for Trump or Hitler to win the war, had the president had me as his personal astrologer, because the real reason for his failure are so obvious and so simply astonishing. I can't even find the English words to tell you how easy it would have been for Trump to win that election. All Trump has to do was one thing. One stupid little thing, something so ridiculously easy, something all his base would and should have done under his simple command. Yet, none of his advisors, including his young, immature, non-cosmic daughter and his very large base, could have ever imagined. Now think how much money billionaire Trump's or any of his fierce supporters would give me right now to turn the clock back, okay, to 3 or 4 months ago, okay, and allow me to give Trump the golden key to victory and allow him to remain in the White House for 4 more years. Because of his entourage, because the president's lack of cosmic wisdom, Trump lost the presidency to President-elected Biden. Something he could have easily avoided had he known me or hired me. You know what, my good friend? The stars don't care. God doesn't rationalize with you. He killed innocent people and babies in natural disaster. The power is real. I told you a million times, you are so much more than blood, bones, nerves. You're a human being. You have the power to create your reality. That is, if you own cosmic wisdom, or one of the main reasons why the Church Inc. and why the scientific infected matrices are saying astrology is a pseudoscience. Stay away from Dr. Terry's work or you're going to go to hell. Knowledge is power, ignorance is wisdom. They don't want to give it to you. I give it to you. And for that, you should endorse me, respect me, love me, and promote my work so we can aim towards the age of Aquarius, the age of unification, love, respect, integrity, cosmic education, and the connection that I'm anticipating sooner than what you think of our space brothers. Meantime, you're going to say, hey, what is it, Dr. Terry? What is it that could have saved Trump? And he would be in the White House right now for the next 4 years. What is it? I guess what, my good friends? This type of mind-boggling information is certainly not for public consumption, or for all the modern astrologers flocking to my website to suck my cosmic wisdom and never ever mention my name. Now, this amazing revelation is for all our VIPs and wonderful Patreon supporters. So if you need a real closure, and if you're interested in knowing what is Solar Draco channeling divulged to me, or the real reason why Trump lost the election outside of your 5 rational, limited human sense, all you have to do is to become a VIP and read all the critical detail of the rest of the story. Oh, you want my wisdom? You got to show it to me. You're going to show that you care and you support my work. Nothing's free anymore from Dr. Cherry. While the majority of my smart and spirit students and VIPs, we are totally agree with the revelation I have for them, my cosmic work will be also easily assimilated by the endless chain of new subscribers who just joined us today. A lot of people joined the Cosmic Code today because they know I'm going to do the full chart, the full detail of President-elect Biden and what is ahead of the United States and the world, my good friend. The interpretation of President Joe Biden's stars and his fate and how it reflects upon the US and the world at large is very intense. No mathematical, modern, astrological, confusing mathematical jargon like, John Hogue, talk about is used. Only simple, easy to understand English terms will be offered in the dissection of our new president, Karmic UCI. And when I profess modern astrology, start and finish in your horoscope newspaper, well, and Nostradamus divine astrology is remarkably accurate. Once again, today, I prove my claim. So you have the link. Join the Cosmic Code to become a VIP or become a Patreon supporter and read the very, very interesting story. Another thing that I will divulge today that you may not know if you just jumped in, my good friend, okay? President Biden, that's the only thing I'm going to tell you, was born like Kushner. You know Kushner, who made the deal in the Middle East? He was born with the same dragon as Kushner and President Obama, which means a void, of course, Leo, Virgo, dragon's head. In conjunction with America, Leo, dragon's head. Power, wealth, control, guidance, leadership. Reconnecting with our friends, bringing more security to this country. And the ramification of all my explanation are going to be simply extraordinary. But that is me to know and you to know. And another thing, if you remember many of my videos on YouTube, I told you, I worry about Russia. I worry about Putin. I know he's going to die of a heart attack. Another prediction for you right here. And so is Kim Jong-un, okay? But I mentioned so many times, I worry about Russia when the dance of evil starts, okay? It's amazing how John Hogue is talking about the same prediction that I make. Interesting. So if you look at the news today, Putin is sending a message to the world, which is shocking announcement, okay? And what is the announcement that he made? And how come before he made the shocking announcement, I kept repeating, I worry about Russia, bad news coming from Russia, bad news coming from Putin. Here it is, right in front of your face. That tells you one more time that you're dealing with a real modern prophet. You should trust and you should promote my work in the process. Can't make this stuff up, my good friend. All right. I believe I also mentioned that in my upcoming Amazon Prime movie on Nostradamus Divine Astrology. Yes, I did mention that I worry about Russia, not just that Trump will not be reelected. And I didn't wait the night before, okay, for Georgia Tom to invite me to be on Coast to Coast to make that predictions. How ridiculous and insane that is, just to protect Mr. Hogue. But I tell you what, my good friend, if you're a supporter, just sign some notes, because it probably will be last time that I was on George's show last October, when I make this prediction of huge fire everywhere and a lot of animals, wildlife being destroyed. That probably was the last time you have seen me or heard me on Coast to Coast. I don't think with this type of letter, okay, and especially your note to these people with the link with this newsletter are going to help me. But as I said, the truth, the undiluted truth, before Dr. Cherry's career, the integrity is a must. This conspiracy is disgusting, and you should see through it, and you should help me. Your choice. All right, my friends. All you got to do is show your support for Dr. Cherry one more time. All you got to do is to take the time to read this newsletter. And if you have never shared a newsletter before, you have to share this one, because it is the beginning and the ending of important phases of life. So will I start a new energy with Coast to Coast, or did I today bury myself with Coast to Coast by exposing Coast to Coast for what they are? Only Dr. Cherry. But do I need anything anymore? You should go to the link where I made a prediction for Tom, when I make a prediction for George Norrie, and when I make a prediction for Coast to Coast. Do I worry? No, don't have to worry. I know better. I know better. All right, so this is kind of critical today, because we're going to pick up a card about this video, the energy around you. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so again, I don't want you to think I pick a card, you know, so I'm going to pick this one here. I don't know. This one looks good. Are you ready? Here you go. Oh, oh, oh. The fire tower. Dr. Cherry, what did you just do? You see the head of the people, you see all the bricks, you see all the people crashing because Biden won the election. Does this kind of clarified Draco channeling that the dance of evil, the reptilian dance of evil, is ahead of us? Can't make this stuff up. All right, so this is what it is, the fire tower. God have mercy on us, because there are so many indoctrinated, fearing, scared people that have buy into QAnon and conspiracy, that refuses to believe, even in front of their very eyes, that this election is legit, that the will of we the people has been established, that the will of smart people who had enough of this nightmare of Trump lying, cheating, changing his mind, repeating himself, discrediting heroes. Oh, this racist Hitler energy, you read the quatrain. In the name of God, is now slowly but surely being removed. There are going to be repercussions, because the fire tower don't lie. So that's why I give you another SOS to the world in that newsletter, to prove to you again that Dr. Cherry is real. So wait for those dates, and I will be there to refresh your memory when the nasty, dramatic, deadly, terrible news that I see ahead will come to pass. Well, you're going to ask me, when is this, Dr. Cherry? Oh, it's in the newsletter, but you know what? Let me point it out to you one more time. November 13, 14, and 15. Stay home. Stay home. Remember, Plutonic deadly window. Okay? Stay home. Careful what you say. Careful what you do. Crazy people will shoot everybody. Okay? Police will be killed. The police will kill people. The drama never ends because humanity is not cosmic conscious. This is why the Draconis, the benevolent extraterrestrials, are putting me in a position where somewhere, somehow, I can reach the world through Amazon Prime by exposing the true scientific mother of all science, divine astrology. Until then, be patient, my good friend. One more time, support my work, become a VIP, get the rest of the story. Be safe out there, okay? Wear your mask, keep your distance, wash your hands. Join the Cosmic Code, share my work. God bless all of you. Bye-bye.